Hi, welcome to Audiobook Academy. This is a self-paced audiobook. There's no need to keep an eye on things. Just pay attention. Thank you for taking the time to listen. This is a book summary of The Miracle Morning, the not-so-obvious secret guaranteed to transform your life before 8 a.m. by Hal Elrod. If you've ever heard someone say, "Today is a new beginning," you know what they mean. According to Hal Elrod, all we need to get going in the morning is a 6-step ritual. There are 6 simple activities that can help us build the life we've always dreamed of if we put them into practice in the mornings. Hal Elrod, a best-selling author and life and business success coach, is a household name. This morning routine, or lack thereof, has a huge impact on our level of success in every aspect of our lives, according to Elrod. Focused, productive days lead to a successful life because of the principle that a successful morning leads to a successful day. When it comes to getting out of bed in the morning, this book is a great starting point because it teaches you how to become more focused and dedicated throughout the day. Using the acronym SAVERS, Elrod provides us with 6 essential morning habits. Elrod's life was saved by a set of 6 habits he followed religiously every day. To begin each day, for the rest of your life, set aside some time for meditation, positive affirmations, visualizations of the desired outcome, physical exercise, reading, and journaling. Savers are the most important things you can do before 8 a.m. to make magic happen in your life. But first, we'll examine Elrod's philosophy on mindset and learn why he believes that if we want to live the life we envision, we must aim higher than mediocrity. It's our job to get awake. It's amazing how much of a difference it can make to have a set morning routine. It's common knowledge that the way we begin each day sets the tone for the rest of the day, but it also has the potential to do so for the remainder of our lives. Each day is a test and a choice, write Jocko Willink and Leif Babin in Extreme Ownership. When we wake up, we face our first challenge. How we prepare for the day ahead is determined by how much sleep we get, whether we use the snooze button or not. As a result, if you want to achieve your daily goals and discover, you'll need to be disciplined and responsible. Discipline equals freedom, says Willink. Discipline allows us more freedom to pursue our passions. It is Elrod's belief that the way we begin our day is critical. His miracle morning routine was born after he suffered 2 devastating blows to the head. Among other things, the car accident at the age of 20 left him with a brain injury and a number of fractured bones. After a drunk driver struck him head-on, the authorities declared him dead for 6 minutes. He was told he would never walk again after 6 weeks in the hospital. Next, he suffered a financial setback when his company failed during the global recession of 2008, sending him into deep depression. He claims that his was cut in half, resulting in a massive, and that his life fell apart after that. He was emotionally, physically, and financially exhausted as a result of the disastrous financial consequences. It was at this point that Elrod claims to have experienced a severe anxiety and depression. No matter how many self-help books he read or seminars he attended, nothing worked for him. Looking back, Elrod realized that he must accept responsibility for his life, his choices, and the future he had created for himself. Furthermore, according to our author, the best place to start is in. A regular schedule gives us the energy to take on the challenges of life head-on. When Elrod claims that the miracle morning method can improve any aspect of our lives, we can rest assured that he's not exaggerating. It's time to take charge. In how many ways do you measure yourself against others? According to Elrod, there are times when this isn't a bad thing. It may be beneficial to reevaluate our self-assessment in light of others. For example, if a person is able to overcome a huge obstacle, then we can as well. As long as we are willing to accept responsibility and have a burning desire to reach our goals, other people's stories can serve as proof that anything is possible. One of the most important things to do is to take full responsibility for all aspects of our lives. In Extreme Ownership, we learn that the only way to deal with problems is to take ownership of them. We tend to place the blame on others or outside forces. The extent to which you accept responsibility for everything in your life is precisely the degree of personal power you have to change or create anything in your life, as Elrod explains. In 2008, Elrod took the first step toward a better life by telling a friend that he was unhappy. Elrod took his friend's advice and went for a jog, even though he was initially hesitant. Our author's life was transformed as a result of this run, which served as a catalyst for even more significant shifts. He established a daily personal development routine that was effective. Miracle Morning was the result. Start your day with a snooze. First, we need to ask ourselves, are we living up to our full potential? The vast majority of us lead unexceptional lives despite our enormous untapped potential. It's up to each of us to make the decision to improve ourselves, because no one else will help us. On the day you decide that you will no longer accept mediocrity for yourself, your entire life shifts for the better. Mediocrity is a choice that we make for ourselves, not something that is foisted upon us by others. The vast majority of Americans fall short of their full potential, according to research. According to the Social Security Administration, 99 out of every 100 people who begin their working lives and are followed for 40 years will be considered average. 66 people will have passed away and 54 will be dependent on others for their survival. An unflattering portrayal of the lives people lead when they are content to get by, rather than thriving. And it's not just a matter of being worried about one's financial situation. Prescription drug use is on the rise, half of American marriages end in divorce, obesity is on the rise, and heart disease and cancer are also on the rise, according to numerous studies. All of us have the ability to improve our lives and realize our full potential despite this bleak outlook. Be aware of your possibility. What is stopping us from achieving our full potential? There are 3 factors that need to be addressed by us, according to Elrod. For starters, there's the concept of looking back. So many of us frame our present selves in light of our pasts. We often fail to move forward because we're so focused on our perceived limitations. By embracing positivity and confidence, we need to shift our focus to the road ahead. As a final factor, we tend to see small actions as distinct from each other. If I eat this piece of cake now, I can start my diet tomorrow, or I can skip the gym today, I'll try again tomorrow, are all things we've said to ourselves at some point. There is nothing wrong with occasional treats and days off, but the problem is that minor exceptions add up. We quickly form bad habits when we make small exceptions to the rule. It is important to remember that our lives are the sum of all the decisions we have made. Finally, there's the notion that we are shaped by the people with whom we associate. The people you spend the most time with are the 5 closest to you. According to Elrod, the people we spend the most time with shape our personalities. We'll be more negative if we're surrounded by 5 other negative people, according to the circle of influence. Spending time with 5 positive and motivated people, on the other hand, will motivate us to achieve our goals. Start your day with a purposeful purpose. Why would we settle for anything less than the best? If we want better health, relationships, work, or financial security, we must stop settling for anything less than we deserve. There are a number of ways to get to this level of success. Every day, Elrod tells us, we must pay attention to who we are and what we want to become. We must alter our daily routines and establish a morning routine that prioritizes growth and productivity. In order to move from mediocrity to success, all we need to do is alter the way we wake up and face the day. Start your day with a routine. Getting up and moving in the morning is made easier with a pre-morning routine. Stop snoozing and reframe how we think about sleep as the first rule of the day. Snooze is tempting for everyone, some more so than others, but it is an effective way to put off the inevitable and change our mindsets for the better. When we're the most reluctant to get out of bed, we should be the most determined to get up and get going. When we allow ourselves to get bogged down in self-pity, we only make things more difficult. Make our purpose bigger than our problems, says Elrod. We are more focused and energized when we have a strong sense of purpose. Elrod explains that starting a routine right away means we're less likely to put off important things like exercise. This might sound like bad news for night owls. If we don't get things crossed off our to-do list quickly, we'll find ourselves tempted or distracted by something. However, there are ways to make the transition to a new routine much easier. A good morning begins the night before, so keep that in mind. Getting enough sleep is essential. And when it comes to getting a good night's rest, we're often our own worst enemies. Does it ever cross your mind, this is far too little sleep, I'm going to be so exhausted tomorrow? We've already ruined the next day by doing this. In Elrod's view, no matter how much sleep we get, we'll feel rested and ready for the day ahead if we tell ourselves that. Put your alarm somewhere that requires you to get out of bed to turn it off if you're the type who can't resist hitting snooze. Once you've gotten out of bed, getting back in is much more difficult. Put on your workout gear, brush your teeth, and sip a glass of water if you're still tempted to take a nap. Once you've completed this step, you're ready to begin the 6-step process of creating a miracle morning. Let there be silence. Purposeful silence is said to help reduce stress and improve concentration when practiced first thing in the morning. We should all find time for moments of silence, whether it's through meditation, prayer, contemplation, deep breathing, gratitude, or a combination of these. We're on the right path if we begin the day in a quiet, reflective, and connected way. Visualization and positive affirmations. Visualization and affirmations can help us achieve our goals. Books like The Power of Positive Thinking, The Power of Now, and Flourish have taught us the importance of thinking positively. Positive thinking is built around the idea of affirmations, which are a powerful tool for shifting our thinking from the negative to the positive. The average person, according to Elrod, thinks between 50,000 and 60,000 thoughts on any given day, he says. It is easy to get stuck in a rut because of the tendency we have to dwell on the bad things that happened in the past. Positive affirmations can help us shift our perspective by reassuring ourselves that we are deserving and valuable. It may seem strange at first, but practicing positive self-talk is essential if we are to avoid the constant barrage of negative thoughts that serve only to impede our progress. Muhammad Ali was famous for saying, "I am the greatest," over and over. As soon as a belief transforms into a conviction, the ground beneath one's feet begins to shift. Another weapon in our arsenal of positive thinking is visualization. Because our brains use the same neural circuits when we physically engage in these tasks, this practice makes tasks easier. People who visualize show nearly the same physical improvement as those who practice, according to scientific evidence. As a result, we can improve ourselves by engaging all of our senses and faculties through visualization. The power of affirmation and visualization lies in their ability to shift our outlook on the things we do on a daily basis. Get up and go for a jog. God gave man two ways to succeed in life, education and physical activity, according to Plato. Not one for the soul and the other for the body, but for both at the same time. A person can attain perfection by using these methods. Our bodies benefit from exercise in more ways than one. To keep our brains in good shape, we need to get out and move our bodies. There are a number of neurotrophic factors and dopamines that are released into the bloodstream when we exercise, BDNF. We all know how much better we feel after working out. That, too, can be attributed to the chemicals in question. Learned how exercise has a profound effect on students' grades and mental health in Spark. At Naperville High School, the gym teachers ran an educational experiment known as Zero-Hour PE, in which they scheduled students to work out at 7 a.m. before class as part of their regular schedule. Students who exercised had better grades and were more focused and well-behaved in the classroom. As a result, the lesson here is that finding an exercise that we can commit to increases our capacity to absorb information. Start your day with a book and a pencil. Our personal development is a key indicator of success, and never stop learning. The best time to read a few pages of a book is after we've done our morning workout. Literature is a great way to learn about the world and ourselves, whether you're looking for self-help, inspiration, or just a good story to curl up with on the couch. 10 pages a day equals 3,650 pages a year, which is roughly 15 books read in 1 year. In addition to reading, we must also practice writing. The mere act of writing down an idea helps it to stick in your mind longer. With mental notes, the ink fades very quickly, Rolf Smith pointed out. Take notes whenever you have an idea or learn something new, and don't forget to do so. Make a list of what you've accomplished, what you've learned, and what you're thankful for. It is imperative that more people read and write, as these activities have a significant impact on society. Make a 30-day commitment. We learned from The Power of Habit and Atomic Habits how important it is to develop and cultivate strong, long-lasting routines. Developing habits takes time, and our author estimates that it can take anywhere from 20 to 120 days to form a new habit. Our author claims that we can form a habit in 30 days for this exercise. When it comes to tackling a task, Eat That Frog taught us that the best strategy is to break it down into manageable parts. A new habit can be formed in 30 days, according to Elrod's logic, which is further simplified into 3 parts. The first 10 days are critical because this is when we must fully commit to our new habit. Breaking the chain requires a new beginning. Even if it's uncomfortable at first, it will be much more difficult to break the developing habit after that. When you get to the last 10 days, the magic begins. The new habit may even become enjoyable, or at the very least, extremely rewarding. Because we can focus on a series of smaller goals, we are better able to see the big picture. Getting through the first 10 days is a whole lot less difficult than getting through the first 30. The first time Elrod tried running, he was apprehensive. In spite of this, he vowed to complete the 30-day challenge after 10 days. Elrod was ready to quit. Each day, he fought with his inner voice, which told him it was perfectly fine if he decided to give up. During days 11 to 20, he no longer resented running, and it began to feel more normal to him. Last but not least, he thought the experience was almost enjoyable. You've always wanted to do something but never had the motivation or determination to do it, so now might be the time. Ending on a high note. What kind of story do you want to tell in the end? The hero or heroine in any good story must overcome their fair share of obstacles, and we're all in the process of writing our own. In fact, the more difficult the task, the more interesting the story will become. Each and every one of us must take advantage of every challenge and use it to improve our own personal narratives. To that end, Elrod says that the key is to ask for the strength to endure and overcome rather than to wish our challenge not to exist. Our author's own life serves as a powerful example of this, as well. Your life's greatest story may be just a few pages away if you read this book. Stop making excuses for why you aren't living up to your full potential and focus on what you need to do to succeed. In the words of Miles Davis, "My future begins every morning when I wake up." I'm always looking for new ways to express myself. As a result, why not attempt your first miracle morning on the morning of tomorrow? Thank you for listening in Audiobook Academy. Please don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. See you in next audiobook.